Right, welcome back to another Beard Invades. This week we've got someone. There's not really a woodworker, although his channel is wood, but he's how can I say it? He doesn't tinker with metal. He actually forms metal to in his business. So his business is also his. Oh, let's just do it. I'm losing it now, right? so I was thinking of something else. So JR Wood and Metal. So this is Josh Roberts. Welcome, Josh. I'll get my teeth in straight in a minute.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good. Sorry about that. I've
Good
got
to meet
a
you.
cat trying to work its way in the door just down here. That threw me off totally. So anyway, so welcome to everybody in the chat. Please share this out. There's only 5 people in so far. I did put this out earlier. I'm in 10 now. There you go. So yeah, share it out, guys. Let's get Josh a few followers on his social medias and that sort of thing. Anyway, so
Yeah.
Josh, so I don't really. I mean, I've known you quite a while. I've got a sticker on my board that I had from
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, was it? A year and a half,
Jesus.
2 years ago, something like that.
I
Maybe
don't
even
even
more
think
than
I
that.
was. I don't even think I was 20 then, honestly.
No,
No.
probably not. Yeah, I mean,
No.
it's in a place where it would be early days. You know, it's right in the
Yeah.
middle. So I filled the middle up
Yeah.
first. You know, so it's
I
been
think
quite a
if I
while.
remember correctly, when I sent it you in the old workshop, you just started on the sticker board because they
Right.
used to be on your bandsaw, if I remember correctly.
They. Oh, I don't know actually. I don't know. I think they were on a different wall because I had a studded wall, didn't I? And then I moved that, so it might have been on that first one. But yeah, it's been a while. Anyway, and it's it's about time I had you on because we have a lot of wood turners on, and we have a lot of people that do resin work and things like that, and lots of things. But we haven't really had anyone on that does what you do, which is fabrication. Really.
Hurts themselves a lot.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you.
About me.
I know I class you as a maker, and we had this discussion the other day on what defines a person as a maker. So why are you a maker? What makes you tick?
You see, I was saying this the other time. I don't understand like the principles of a maker. Like to me, a maker, like you were saying, someone who draws or creates art or does this. I mean, I've always just thought like, is a metal worker a maker? Like obviously you've got people like Zach and Jimmy DeResta and all these people who are makers, who do everything and they consider themselves makers.
Yeah.
But I've always been in the scene where I haven't been around a lot of makers. I've always been around the scene where I've been around old-time blacksmiths and fabricators and engineers that are in the 70s. And if you turn around to one of them and said, "What's a maker?" they'd be like, "I don't know, something on floor. I don't know." Do you know what I mean? They just wouldn't know. So I've never defined myself by that. I am a mixture of all things, mainly in the metal work. Obviously, as you can see, I've got woodworking tooling because that's what I used to do. But I am a metal worker, so fabrication, blacksmithing, engineering, machining, welding, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
It's like what I was saying. I mean, I don't know if the people in the chat will agree that, in my opinion, a maker. This is why I think you're a maker. A maker is someone that would, instead of going and buying something, if they thought to themselves, I could actually make that, then that's the sort of thing that I consider as a maker. Someone that would rather make something than go and buy it, unless it's tools.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could make a planer thicknesser, but I'll probably end up killing myself. So, before we get into what you do, what do you enjoy outside of work? Because I know this is your work. What do you do to relax and chill out?
I'll be honest with you. You can ask my missus. I live, breathe, and eat it. You know, I'm obsessive. And
Right.
if I'm not doing it, I'm watching it. If I'm not watching it, I'm reading it. If I'm not reading it, I'm doing it. If I'm not doing it, I'm sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a
So
lot of us can
complete and
relate
utter.
to
That's it. Complete and utter obsessive. Like I love it no
it.
matter how much I do, whether it's
Yeah.
annoyed you that day or what.
Yeah. um. So you're on the social medias and things like that. Should we have a little look? We'll start with the. Oh crap! I don't invite anybody. I want to share. So let's have a look here. Okay. So Facebook, JR Wood and Metal. So I mean, this is. I can't really see what you do on here. Maybe it's. Oh, nice hair, by the
not,
way.
not, not a whole lot on there. I've got some of the early stuff on there and stuff like that, but you
Yeah,
know
that's cool.
I don't know if anyone knows Del Boy Garage. He's quite a famous YouTuber, and a friend of mine, and I made him that. So that, as you can see there, them twists. That's Dragon Scale and Rubik's,
Ah,
and then you twist them, and then I've twisted them on
oh crap.
hooks as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
then that's
That's
freehand plasma cut.
that's proper blacksmithing technique. That is. Look at that. Oh. So is that painted or is it?
That's airbrushed. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. I love the hand. Love the bones there.
So what I did was I matched that to my hand, and then got all the measurements from my hand, and then I ground every single piece to the exact, you know, what shape it should be, or what shape to me it
Yeah.
should be.
All right. Okay. So this is what you do. This is what you manufacture and what you make.
Mm.
And you do all this from home, don't you? When your own
I do, I
workshop.
do, I do, I do all sorts. So it's not just that. Like I'll build anything. Like if anybody asks me to build something, I'll just build it, or I'll put it online, or I'll share it, or I'll do collaboration work with other people and stuff like that.
Yeah. Cool. Some nice stuff on here.
I
Right.
used to do a lot of them roses.
Yeah. Well, did you sell them? Did you?
Do you know what? You've heard the term starving artist, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those.
Right. So this is what I was. You was going to explain this to me earlier on, but I cut you off and says, I'm going to ask you this question in the invasion. So this is your Instagram. So why a
Yeah.
human Ouija board?
I have a Ouija board tattooed on my chest.
Right. Okay. And can I ask why?
Really like Ouija boards.
Okay.
If you go up on there, so do you see these here as well? Like that one there, that rose, not rose, sorry, that flower, that is a ficus ginseng or African flame lily. Someone from South Africa turned around to me and said, "Can you make me a metal African flame lily?" So no one's ever made one out of metal.
Oh, right.
So I thought, well, I'll have a go.
Yeah. Looks nice.
And that's how it turned out. Yeah.
Look at that.
See, you see that green power hammer there?
Yeah.
That's Fred Dibner's. No, down.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that was Fred Dibner's.
Fred Dibner, the famous
Steeplejack. Yeah.
Steeplejack. Oh man. And that's his. That was his.
Yeah.
Cool. So are you from the same area as where he was from?
No, I'm not from Bolton. I'm from Manchester.
Oh right. I did watch a program in him recently. It was cool. Well, that's really interesting. I love this.
Yeah, that's on my kitchen wall.
Yeah, but it's brilliant. I love it. Hang on a sec. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then.
Nice to meet you, Whitebeard.
Oh, is that my dad? Is it? Oh, right. Hang on. Let's just have a look at this, and then we'll have a look who's in the chat. I just can't get my head around tonight. I don't know. I've had a really busy day today, and I'm not in there mentally. So YouTube. So you're currently on 1,089, 1,890 subscribers. How many videos have you got? There's a fair few on here, isn't there?
80 something. Did you see that bear trap there?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
That went to it's on a movie.
Okay.
It went up to Scotland, and they said to me, "Can you make a bear trap that we can put in a movie? It can't be, real, and it's got to look really nasty."
Yeah. What movie was it? Do you know?
Do you know what? I don't have a clue.
All right. Okay.
Honestly, don't have a clue.
Really interesting stuff on here. I like the forged leaf hooks. They look really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There it is. And that's on your living room wall, is it?
And the kitchen wall.
Kitchen wall. Yeah, some cool stuff on here. Right. So let's just have a little look who's in the chat. So we have... Right, just remember, guys, if you want to ask Josh a question, start with a capital Q. As normal, pop it in the chat. I'll do my best to find it or to spot it. So normally, we've got Wood Wizardry by Colin at the top, which is kind of, I'm sure he's as soon as it goes up, he puts his comment in there. Even if it was a week before, he's at the top. Which is brilliant. So we've got Gav, Barry, Chitty, Andy H is returning, Robert Dolman, Peter Corcoran, Larry, LC. We've got Circular Wood by Keith, Sneaks Warlock, Die is in. I think you get on with Die because Die's I think he's into his machining and that sort of thing, like the fine tolerance stuff that you were telling me about the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few people here. Chris Spinning, Wood Dodger, Jim Conlon. I did see my dad. There you go, Whitebeard. Tommy's Workshop. I think that's it for now. Oh, Doug's in. Doug from Polbarn. Anyway, right. Let's get to what you actually do. Tell us a little bit about what you actually do. I know you're manufacturing there.
I make all sorts. So what I've been working on recently, as I was showing you, is just a few platens and this. So this is an adjustable work rest.
Right.
So it's on machine. So you've got lathe turn parts, you've got reamed parts on the mill, you've got milled out parts, and all that sort of stuff. So this will adjust anyway. Oh, try not to hit myself in the head with it. Up, down, this way, this way, this way. And it'll also go forwards and backwards, to any angle you want. It's got all your different cutouts for your different size wheels. So small wheels are these. So these are small wheels.
Right.
So there's nothing too difficult about it. It's turned down to fit a bearing.
Yeah.
And then they go in a holder, and then you put your belt over it, and it grinds radiuses. And they will fit, in here and all that. And then you can obviously, use this table to grind your your knives or different radiuses or stuff like that.
So that attaches to a motor, and you put belts on it, and that, you know, or is that
a grinder?
no, like a belt sander?
So this is where woodworking and metalworking differences. So when you have in the metalworking, you call them grinders.
Yeah.
And when you're woodworking, you call them a sander.
Yeah.
So a sander is normally a lot more underbuilt, not in the case of Wadkin and people like that, but they are underbuilt, say, to a grinder.
Right.
You know, sanders these days will have a lot of plastic chassis, and they won't be, you know, as winded as well, or they won't be. And the main, when it comes down to it, the main difference is the speed. So you'll normally have a 4-pole, say, on a sander because it needs to travel at, you know, in the 1,000 range of RPM, whereas a grinder needs to run fast.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, but they, you know, they can all do the same thing, but apart from a grinder specifically built to remove metal.
And I mean, I know you build them, but is that, I mean, is this something for knife makers? I mean,
Metal workers in general, yeah. So knife makers use them, metal workers use them. You know, fabrication shops use them. Profilers use them. You know, I've even had known of people who do horology use them.
All right. Okay.
You know, anything metal basically.
Yeah. Okay. And I suppose the ones that you make, they've got to be built strong. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everything's TIG welded. Everything is you know, thick. You know, it's got to be built well. Yeah.
Okay. We've got a question from Chris Spinning Wood Dodger. He says, "Is Josh self-taught or a qualified engineer?"
I am self-taught. I've never had a lesson in my life.
Oh, right. Okay. So where have you learnt it from?
Making a lot of mess ups.
Yeah. What, trial and error?
Same as all of us, I'm supposing. Yeah, trial and error. Yeah. I mean, you know, you can look at my hands. I mean, I've burnt myself. I've ground through my skin. I've ground through my bones. You know, I think 50% of me steel's at this point. Yeah. And you know, it's just one of those trial and error.
I mean, that's what I started wood turning over 20 odd years ago, and there was no YouTube back then. There was, I've said this before to people, there was books, you know, with old blokes demonstrating with a picture, and that's all we had really.
That's it. I mean,
so you make mistakes, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been very mechanically minded, so I can look at something and figure out how it's done.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe everyone's like that, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, not everyone's like that. It's a good trait to have. What's I'd love to have one. Okay, right. Yeah. So tools. What kind of tools do you use? Because I bet that to make a tool, you need good tools to make a good tool.
Yeah. So I like things that are old in English.
Yeah.
You know, Colchesters, Addock Shipleys, Jones and Shipman. People like that. I always strive to be like that. You know, you look at people like back then, you know, you look at Herbert and Ward and Swift and people like that, and you just think that thing was built 100 years ago and will outlive me.
Yeah.
So they're the type of tools I like to get. And recently, these tools have been going for cheap, or they've been passed down by my dad. You know, that's how I've got a lot of it. My dad was an engineer.
Oh, you're frozen. Is that me or is that you?
What happened then?
I can still hear you. Yeah, your picture's gone all funny and you froze.
I have no idea. He just went off, and I'm like, what's going on there?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were saying about the tools, being passed down and things like that. I
Yeah,
mean, back
yeah,
then, those tools were made to last. They weren't.
that's
They
it. Yeah,
weren't made to break after 10 years' time or 5 years' time. For all the moving parts were actually had their own. What you call it? The grease. Grease fittings. They were made to last. They were made to maintain as well.
yeah, you're correct. So a lot of the stuff back then. So you think the bearings were of better quality. I understand that there's more technology these days, but back then bearings was of better quality, even down to the phosphor bronze bushings they used. The phosphor bronze were better quality. Everything was just built, with certified pig iron. It was built to last. It's not like any of this Chinese stuff you get that come in now, and it's half of its Bondo. If there was a defect in the casting, then it'd have been sent back.
Yeah. And I've noticed there's a lot of the lathes and stuff that were on submarines and boats and stuff, that are now the boats are all being decommissioned and the submarines, but the actual lathes and all the metalworking tools on those vessels are now coming off because the vessels are being broken down. But the machinery is still good for another 100 years.
That's it. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of these tools that were on there are manual, and the new age of engineers, so to speak, are CNC, which is very sad, because obviously it takes skill to still learn all your tolerances and this and that, but it's not as much skill, in my opinion, to do it manually rather than CNC.
Okay. Right.
That's my opinion. I could be wrong. I've never touched a CNC, but I think it definitely helps. If power went down, to be able to use a manual mill, a manual machine. I'm strictly manual, but it's one of those, and all these manual tools now being scrapped.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we lost you again. I think we lost you
Well,
again.
they're being scrapped, and nobody wants them.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'll have one.
We was talking about this. You said you couldn't put it in there.
We was. I would build I'd build somewhere outside for one. It's right. Chris, Spinning Wood Dodger says, I think it's much easier with wood, in my opinion, rather than metal work. Would you agree?
Yes and no. I'd say yes, because within metal you've got tolerances, so you're not working to, say, the closest quarter of a mil.
Yeah, I think we got a bad internet connection tonight.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Right.
You're working to the closest micron in some cases.
Yeah, that's a lot different.
And I mean, them small wheels you saw there, the bearing fit is 5 microns.
Cool.
And
that's mad,
and
isn't
it? But saying that, when it's on a machine, it's, as long as you understand your numbers and your different things like that, you can get there. But no, within the case of, let's just talk about general fabrication. So, people who make gates, for example, the way they join things is they'll drill it and then they'll weld it. Whereas in a lot of cases, I understand you have butt joints and I understand you have mitre joints and stuff like that. But say, for example, you're paying £1,000 for a gate, and £1,000 for a box. You know, they've both got to be to a good quality.
Hmm.
And I think it'd be harder to make that box rather
That'd
than make that box out of wood, rather than make that gate.
Yeah. Okay. Peter Corcoran said he's about to purchase a MIG welder from his friend, so he'll be teaching himself.
That's brilliant. I mean,
Yeah.
What I'd say is, you know, YouTube, that's your best friend. I mean, it's a lot different than what it used to be years ago. You've got people like weld.com and you know, WeldTube and people like that who will show you the proper way of MIG welding. You know, MIG welding, everyone seems to think it's point and shoot kind of thing, whereas it's not. It takes a lot to get good at MIG welding. I still suck to this day.
I like I say, I used to do it for a living in a small little factory, just two of us, and I taught my son how to MIG weld, and he was an absolute natural. It was so frustrating because I was like, right, this is what you do, and you know, he understood about, you know, everything about it before he even touched it,
like torch angle and all that sort of stuff.
The theory behind it, and he went, and he made this beautiful bead, and I was like, what? I'm looking through my he's got my helmet on, you know. He's got my helmet on, and I've got one of these little things that you hold up like this, you know, the old school ones. And I'm like, you little sod. So he's an absolute natural. Right. So are you working on any projects at the moment other than what you do, you know,
with just what I do? No, I'm just finishing up a few bits. I've got to clean up because it's a hellhole.
Yeah. So
I showed you. Go on.
Are you able to show us a little bit of your workspace there, or?
I can show you one of them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. So, 1 minute. Close that door so we can't see the other one. And that hit the propane bottle.
Ooh.
That's all right. All right. So, as you can see, here's where we come in. This is some of the blades I used to make when I was a little bambino.
Oh, nice. They look evil.
This is just where the clamps are. That's where the drill presses, bottles, welders, just different things on the bench. 1 minute.
That is one massive arbor press. What's that? A 3-ton arbor press?
That's 3 ton, yeah.
Ooh.
And just all the different accessories. And then there's some grinders.
Cool.
And those grinders and different things like that.
Those are grinders that you've built?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Well, no, tell a lie, yeah. That one.
Yeah.
That one was from Nick Argy in Greece.
Oh, okay.
He don't make them anymore. He's a good friend of mine, but yeah, that's one I made.
Yeah.
As you can see, he's nicer. But yeah, they're brilliant machines. I'd honestly recommend them for anyone. Woodworker, not a woodworker. I mean, you can speed them up and slow them down with a drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say someone wants to get into engineering and fabrication, metal fabrication.
Yeah.
Where would you recommend they start? Because I know it's going to take a lot of money. I mean, you told me how much, you know, the cost in tools that you've had to put up. But you know, if someone was just to start with an interest in metalwork and metal fab,
I'd say, you know, if you're able to, I'd say go to take a class. You know, a workshop or something like that. You know, see if there's any makers or meet and greets or something where you can just gain a bit of knowledge, pick the brain, have a little go at it, rather than just going out and buying something. I mean, there is cheap machines and different things like that you can buy, but I think they'd frustrate you more than get you into it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can warrant that. I mean, I'm sure you've bought some stuff thinking, well, do you know what? I don't know why I bother with this.
Yeah, it's not the cheap isn't always good quality,
Yeah.
and sometimes the kind of machinery that you'd need to work with tolerances that you would work with, you can't scrimp on that sort of stuff. Otherwise, you're going to be buying more than one or
You'd be
two.
buying and buying and buying again, yeah.
Yeah, because they're not going to last, at the end of the day.
No.
So
No.
I mean, sorry, go on.
You can get these machines that, are half decent. Let's just talk about a lathe, for example. You can get a machine that's half decent and you could probably pick it up for less than £500. But chances are it'd need work. Now, if you feel up to doing that kind of work and you can think of how it's going to be put together, or you can get drawings, or you can get a friend to help you, then I'd say strip the thing apart, maybe get the ways regrind, get new gibs, just take it apart, give it a good clean, make sure everything's up to snuff, put it back together again, note you did the right thing. But if you don't, then maybe buy it from someone who's restored it, or just buy one is going to work.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you are confident enough to strip something down and rebuild it, I mean, you're going to know how it works at least.
Yeah.
That
Larry has put, check out A-Bomb79. Yeah, I know, Adam. He's good. Yeah, he's good.
So what's A-Bomb79? What's
A-Bomb70? He's a
machinist.
machinist. A strictly manual shop.
Okay.
I think it's Booth's Machine Shop or something he's called.
Right.
And he's bloody good.
I'll have a look. I'll have a look at that in a bit. So guys, have we got any questions? You've got to have some questions. Come on. Right. So what are you going to be up to in the future? Any idea? What would you like to try and have a go at in the future?
I'd definitely like to dive deeper into machining, different materials, different tools. Maybe even try a CNC if I feel adventurous.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wood projects I'd like to do. This I've got a friend of mine who's asked me to make some pentagram shelves.
Okay.
And she wants me to do them for her, so I need to get doing them.
Shelves.
And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's actually what I went to college to do. I was actually a joiner.
Right.
Oh. Don't tell anyone.
So is that something you're going to be put on your YouTube or?
Yeah, that's something I'll put on my YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
So guys, if you haven't checked out JR Wood and Metal, I mean the links are all in the description. Head over, give him some support, a few likes, a subscribe, a follow. You know how it goes. We got a question, right?
Oh.
So, Larry, how did you get one off? Oh, yes. How did you get one of Fred Dibner's machines?
Not my machine. And the guy I know who has it, who is a friend of mine,
right,
would never, ever part with it.
Oh, okay. No.
It'd never part with it.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I watched that documentary on him, and he's... it showed his house and where his workshop is, and he's got his steam engines and things like that. And absolutely incredible guy.
Well, there's one of them where you see he was round the back of his shed here, the one where he used to do the machine work in. He had a radial arm drill and stuff in there. Do you remember where he went down the back to throw the string down to measure for the? Did you ever see that one?
Ooh, I can't
He
remember.
threw a plane like this down to measure the depth of how far down it went, and that one there, I believe it was, is where he walked past it. That machine, that massive, was actually underneath a tarpaulin. So
All right.
what was wrong with it is somebody's rebuilt it and put all the valves in and everything the wrong way,
Oh, right.
from my understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't do a good job of putting it back together.
And then the head's going to smash through if the valves are in the wrong place. You're going to smash through the roof.
Honestly, I just don't think it'd run.
Yeah, right.
Because you need air and you need everything to
Yeah.
be in the right place to run.
Yeah. Dyke Proud says, ever made any metal spinning tools?
Metal spinning. Does he mean turning tools?
Not sure, Di. Yeah, we'll see what he says. Yeah, Di and my dad says they've both met Fred Dibner. My wife's dad as well knew Fred Dibner. Yeah, brilliant bloke.
From what I understand, he was a very intelligent man.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so. Anyway, okay, so we're just over half an hour. So, guys, like I say, if you want to head over, you want to look more into what Josh does on his social media and his YouTube and stuff, just head over. All the links are there. But for now, we're going to call it a night. As a spinning metal, right, just before we go, as in spinning metal onto a form on a lathe, silversmith techniques.
Oh, I think what he's talking about.
Yes.
Maybe not actually. I don't know much about silversmithing, honestly.
I think he's. I think when they put a plate on the machine and they use a tool to form the plate, to bend the metal into a bowl.
That's what I thought he was going on about, but
maybe.
Where they fold not fold it, but turn it into bowls and stuff like that. No, I've never made anything like that. No.
I'd love to have a go at that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, "Let's chat." There you go. Let's chat. Right then. Okay. So that's it. You've been successfully invaded. We found a little bit about you. And guys, remember, go over and check Josh out and get to know him. And Tuesday, next Tuesday, I won't be on. It'll be who's on next Tuesday? Oh crap! It will be Andy H's for turning 8 o'clock next week. Oh, I don't know. I think I am invading. Let's have a look. Yeah, Whitehall Pottery. So that should be a good one. That's Heidi at Whitehall over in the US. So I'll look forward to that. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Josh, thanks very much.
No problem.
And we'll see you all next week.